Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you're into finding hidden gems in your spare change, you're in the right place. Today, we'll show you how some everyday coins could be worth a lot more than you think. Don't miss out, stick around. New here? Like, subscribe, and let's get started. We're diving deep into the world of one of the most fascinating and valuable coins to ever come out of the United States, the 1982 D Liberty Quarter Dollar. You might think that quarters are just everyday coins, but let me tell you, this specific one is far from ordinary. So, sit tight and pay close attention, because what we're about to uncover will have you looking at your change with a whole new perspective. The Liberty Quarter, issued in 1982, might look like a typical piece of US currency to most people, but for collectors, it holds a secret that could make your wallet a lot heavier. As we all know, coins are not just about what's stamped on them, but also about their history, rarity, and the mistakes that can make them extraordinarily valuable. And the 1982 D Liberty Quarter? Well, it's got all of these elements wrapped into one intriguing package. First, let's talk about its background. The 1982 D Liberty Quarter is part of a long-standing tradition of U.S. coinage, featuring the iconic Liberty design on the obverse. This design has been around for decades, but it's not the design that's the star of the show today. What really makes this coin unique is its rarity. Unlike many other coins that were produced in large quantities and flooded into circulation, the 1982 D Quarter is notably harder to find in excellent condition. The majority of these quarters were used in everyday transactions, resulting in a large number of them becoming worn down or damaged. However, the real magic happens when we talk about the errors that make this coin even more desirable to collectors. Some of the 1982 D Liberty quarters were struck with unusual minting errors that make them stand out from the rest. These errors include double dies, where the design was mistakenly stamped multiple times, or even slight misalignments during the minting process. These imperfections are what collectors dream about. Why? Because they're rare, they're unique, and most importantly, they can significantly increase the value of the coin. If you happen to find one of these error coins, it could be your golden ticket to a much more lucrative collection. But even beyond the errors, this particular quarter is valued highly because of its limited availability in pristine condition. Coins that have been kept in uncirculated, mint condition are always in demand, and the 1982 D Liberty Quarter is no exception. It's not just about having a coin, it's about having the best possible version of that coin, the one that's free from wear, scuff marks, and discoloration. So, what's the value of this 1982 D Liberty Quarter? Hold on to your seats because the answer is going to blow your mind. A pristine, error-free version of this coin could fetch as much as $99,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $99,000 for a single quarter. That's a truly jaw-dropping amount for a coin that was once worth just 25 cents. This is why coin collectors across the world are on the lookout for these hidden gems. Finding one in excellent condition is like striking gold, and finding one with an error is like hitting the jackpot. Imagine stumbling upon a coin that could change your life in a way you never expected. Well, the 1982 D Liberty Quarter has that kind of potential. So, the next time you're going through your coin jar or looking through your pocket change, keep an eye out for this little treasure. You never know, you might just hold a rare and valuable piece of history in your hand, one that could make you an unexpected fortune. The 1982 D Liberty Quarter might just be the coin you didn't know you were waiting for. Second rare coin, we're diving into a true gem of American coinage that might be hiding right under your nose, the 1974 U.S. Liberty Quarter. Now, at first glance, this coin might seem like just another quarter in your pocket change, but trust me, this coin holds secrets that could make it worth far more than its 25-cent face value. Stick with us through this journey, and by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your quarters in an entirely new way. The 1974 Liberty Quarter is not just any run-of-the-mill coin. It hails from a time in U.S. history that was both turbulent and transformative. This was the year when the country was navigating the aftermath of Watergate, dealing with rising inflation, and adjusting to new global challenges. Yet, amidst all that chaos, the U.S. Mint continued its production of coins, including the ever-popular Liberty Quarter. But here's the twist: while many of these quarters were mass-produced and circulated, some of them contain rare features and unique qualities that make them highly valuable today. What really makes the 1974 Liberty Quarter stand out in the world of collectors is its rarity. Most of these coins were widely used for transactions, meaning that many were subject to wear and tear. In fact, it's quite hard to find a 1974 quarter in pristine condition. The majority of them are scratched, dented, or tarnished from years of use in people's pockets, wallets, or coin jars. However, as any seasoned coin collector will tell you, it's the coins that remain in excellent, uncirculated condition that truly become valuable over time. But there's more to this coin story than just its rarity. Some of the 1974 Liberty Quarters carry minting errors that make them even more desirable to collectors. For example, there have been reports of double die errors on these quarters, where the design was struck more than once during the minting process, creating an overlapping or double image on the coin. These errors are rare and make the coin stand out from the rest, increasing its value dramatically. Collectors love these types of error coins because they are one-of-a-kind pieces, and owning one can really make a collection special. Another reason the 1974 Liberty Quarter has caught the eye of collectors is the way it represents the U.S. Mint's striking design choices. On the obverse, you have the classic portrait of George Washington, which has graced quarters since 1932. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar eagle with outstretched wings, clutching an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. It's a timeless design, but for those who are keenly aware of minting history, it's not just the design that matters, it's the details. And sometimes, the smallest imperfections can make a huge difference. Now, let's get to the million-dollar question, or should I say, the $100,000 question: how much is a 1974 Liberty Quarter worth today? If you've been holding on to one of these quarters, especially one in near-perfect condition or with a rare minting error, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. A 1974 Liberty Quarter can fetch an incredible $120,000, if it's the right coin in the right condition. That's right, you could be holding a coin worth more than most people make in a year, all for something that looks like a regular quarter at first glance. Imagine the thrill of finding out that one of your quarters, one you probably thought was just another piece of change, could be worth more than the car in your driveway. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's full of surprises. For those of you who are just starting your coin collection or who love diving deep into the world of rare and valuable coins, the 1974 Liberty Quarter is definitely one to watch out for. Whether you find it in your spare change or buy it from a trusted dealer, this coin is more than just a piece of currency, it's a piece of history, and a potentially priceless one at that. So, if you happen to have a 1974 Liberty Quarter lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look. Get out that magnifying glass, check for minting errors, and carefully inspect the coin's condition. Who knows? You could be holding a coin that's far more valuable than you ever imagined. Third expensive coin, we're going to take a closer look at a coin that's not only a piece of American history but also a rare treasure in the world of numismatics, the 1965 U.S. Liberty Quarter dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter you might find in your spare change. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll discover that this coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. So, make sure you stick with us as we uncover the true value of this seemingly ordinary coin. Let's begin with a bit of history. The 1965 Liberty Quarter was struck during a pivotal time in the United States. The country was in the midst of economic turmoil, dealing with inflation and the growing costs of the Vietnam War. In fact, 1965 was the year the U.S. government made the significant decision to remove silver from the composition of most coins, including quarters. This shift from silver to a more affordable metal, like copper-nickel, was intended to save money, and it marked a turning point in U.S. coinage. However, the 1965 quarter still holds an important place in the world of collectors due to a few special features that make it incredibly valuable today. Now, you may be wondering, what makes the 1965 Liberty Quarter so special? Well, there's a lot more to it than just the fact that it was minted during a time of transition. The rarity and value of the 1965 quarter stem from several key factors, including its limited availability in pristine condition and the existence of specific minting errors that collectors go wild for. First, let's talk about the condition of the coin. Most of the 1965 quarters were used in daily transactions, which means that many of them are worn down, scratched, or tarnished over time. Finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is a rarity. Coins that have been carefully stored and preserved in pristine condition are highly sought after by collectors, and the 1965 quarter is no exception. It's the high-quality, well-maintained examples that can fetch astronomical prices in the market. But wait, there's more to this story. Some 1965 Liberty quarters were struck with errors during the minting process, and these mistakes are what make the coin truly stand out. One of the most valuable types of errors involves a double die strike, where the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a doubled image on the coin. These types of errors are rare and can make a single coin worth thousands of dollars. And of course, the rarer the error, the higher the price it can fetch at auction. In addition to the double die errors, there are other types of minting issues that can make a 1965 quarter more valuable. For example, coins that were misstruck or have misaligned designs are highly desirable among collectors who specialize in error coins. The key here is that these errors are rare, and they give the coin a unique character, which is something that collectors love. So, how much can a 1965 Liberty quarter be worth? You might be surprised to hear that a 1965 quarter, especially one that is in perfect condition or has an error, can fetch an incredible $160,000. Yes, that's right, $160,000 for a single quarter. It's hard to believe that a coin that was once worth just 25 cents could be worth such an astronomical sum today. But that's the magic of rare coins. They hold stories, history, and a potential fortune in your hands. Now, I know what you're thinking, I need to check my change. And you should. If you happen to have a 1965 Liberty quarter, make sure to give it a close inspection. Check for any minting errors or signs that it might be in exceptional condition. If you find one with a double die or any other rare characteristics, you could be sitting on a goldmine without even realizing it. Coin collecting is a fascinating world, filled with endless surprises. And if you're lucky enough to come across a 1965 Liberty quarter, you might just discover that you found one of the most valuable coins in circulation. So, the next time you're sorting through your coins, take an extra moment to look at your quarters. You never know, you might just be holding onto a piece of history that could change your life. Now, we're exploring a rare and fascinating coin from the 20th century, the 1979 U.S. Liberty quarter dollar. You might think, it's just another quarter, but this specific coin has something extra that makes it stand out in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newbie, this coin has a story that's too good to pass up. So, grab a seat, and let's uncover why the 1979 Liberty quarter might be worth far more than you think. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the context of this coin. The 1970s was a decade marked by significant economic shifts in the U.S. The country was dealing with inflation, rising gas prices, and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. It was during this time that the U.S. Mint continued producing coins, including the iconic Liberty quarter, which features the portrait of George Washington on the front and the majestic eagle on the back. This design has been in circulation for decades, but it's the specific 1979 issue that has captured the attention of collectors, and for very good reason. So, what makes the 1979 Liberty quarter so valuable and desirable? Well, there are a few key factors at play here. One of the most important is its rarity. While millions of 1979 quarters were minted, the ones that have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition are incredibly hard to find. Most of these coins were used in daily transactions, which means that many of them have seen wear and tear over the years. Finding a 1979 Liberty quarter that hasn't been damaged or worn down by years of circulation is a true rarity. And as any collector knows, the value of a coin increases dramatically when it's in excellent condition, but it's not just about finding a well-preserved coin. Some 1979 Liberty quarters are known to have minting errors, and those errors are what truly set them apart in the collecting world. A key error found in some of these coins is a double die strike. This occurs when the die used to stamp the coin is misaligned, resulting in a doubled image on the coin. A doubled image can make certain details on the coin appear twice, such as George Washington's portrait or the lettering around the coin's edges. These types of errors are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin unique, and finding one is like stumbling upon a hidden treasure. Another common error seen in some 1979 Liberty quarters is a misaligned die. This happens when the die doesn't properly line up with the coin, causing the design to be struck off-center. These types of errors make the coin more distinctive and add an extra layer of rarity. Coins with these minting errors are much more valuable than those that were struck perfectly, making them highly sought after in the market. Now, you're probably wondering how much a 1979 Liberty quarter could be worth, especially if it's in pristine condition or features one of these rare minting errors. Well, hold on to your hats, because the value might surprise you. A 1979 Liberty quarter in uncirculated condition, or one with a minting error, can be worth an astonishing $145,000. Yes, you heard that right, $145,000 for a single quarter. That's far more than its original 25-cent face value, and it goes to show just how much rare coins can appreciate over time. Imagine the excitement of finding a 1979 Liberty quarter in your pocket change, only to realize that it's worth a small fortune. It's the kind of discovery that every collector dreams about. And the best part? You don't have to be a professional to stumble upon such a treasure. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare coins, you could be sitting on a significant piece of history and a valuable asset. Coin collecting isn't just about the coins themselves, it's about the thrill of discovery. It's about the joy of uncovering hidden treasures that have been tucked away for decades. And with coins like the 1979 Liberty quarter, that thrill is very much alive. So, whether you're digging through your spare change or adding coins to your collection, keep an eye out for this particular quarter. It could be worth much more than you think. Last unique coin, we're diving into a piece of U.S. history that's more valuable than you might think, the 1973 U.S. Liberty quarter dollar. At first glance, this quarter might look like just another everyday coin, but what if I told you that it could be worth a small fortune? If you're a collector, a history buff, or just someone who enjoys finding rare treasures, you'll want to stick around until the end of this video to uncover just how much this coin could be worth. The 1973 Liberty quarter is part of the famous series of quarters that has featured George Washington on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse for decades. But this particular year stands out for a few important reasons. While many quarters from this period were minted and circulated widely, what sets the 1973 quarter apart is the combination of rarity, condition, and, wait for it, minting errors that can make it incredibly valuable to collectors. Let's talk about the rarity first. The 1973 Liberty quarter was minted in large quantities, which means that most of these coins were used for everyday transactions. With millions of these quarters circulating across the country, it's not uncommon to find one in your pocket change. However, as time goes on, many of these quarters have been worn down by years of use. Coins that have seen a lot of circulation often suffer from scratches, discoloration, and general wear, making it difficult to find one in mint condition. For collectors, the condition of the coin is everything, and that's where the 1973 Liberty quarter becomes special. Finding a 1973 Liberty quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is like finding a hidden gem. This is the kind of coin that is highly sought after by collectors because it represents a piece of U.S. history that has been preserved for decades. Coins in excellent condition can fetch a premium price, and the 1973 quarter is no exception. But it's not just about condition, there's more to this coin story. Some 1973 Liberty quarters have been found with minting errors, which makes them even more valuable. One of the most notable errors that can be found on these quarters is the double die error. A double die strike occurs when the coin is struck multiple times by the die, resulting in a design that appears doubled or overlapping. This kind of error creates a unique visual effect that collectors absolutely love. A 1973 quarter with a double die error is rare, and finding one in uncirculated condition makes it even more precious. Another type of error that has been spotted on some 1973 Liberty quarters is a misaligned die. This error happens when the die doesn't properly align with the coin during the minting process, causing the design to appear off-center. Coins with this type of misalignment are highly prized by collectors because they are one of a kind, and owning one means you have a piece of minting history that is unlike any other. So, now that you know a little about what makes the 1973 Liberty Quarter special, let's get to the exciting part, the value. If you happen to have a 1973 Liberty Quarter in perfect condition, or one with a rare minting error, you might be holding on to a small fortune. In fact, a 1973 quarter with the right characteristics can be worth an incredible $135,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $135,000. That's right, a single quarter could make you richer than most people ever imagine, all because of its rarity and unique characteristics. It's mind-blowing to think that something as simple as a quarter could hold so much value. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about the face value of a coin, but the history behind it, the mistakes made during its production, and the condition it's been kept in. For collectors, finding a coin like the 1973 Liberty Quarter is the ultimate prize, and it's something that can change the course of a collection forever. So, if you happen to have a 1973 Liberty Quarter lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look. Check the condition, look for any minting errors, and see if you might have one of these rare, valuable coins. Who knows? You could be sitting on a small fortune and not even realize it. If you enjoyed this exploration of the 1973 Liberty Quarter and want to learn more about other rare and valuable coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.